Imagine, if you will, the world as you know it has ended. The dead have risen and walk among us. The zombie apocalypse has begun. In the blink of an eye, life as we know it spirals into chaos. The outbreak is swift, severe, and unrelenting. The dead, once resting peacefully, now stagger through the streets with an insatiable hunger for the living. The world is in a state of pandemonium. Cities crumble as the infected multiply, turning bustling metropolises into ghost towns within mere days. Surviving in this new world requires more than just luck. It requires a plan, a strategy, and a calm head. Panic is the enemy here, clouding judgment and leading to mistakes. And in this world, mistakes can be fatal. The first step, then, is to steady your nerves. Fear is natural, but it must not rule you. Breathe. Focus. Remember, you're stronger than you think. Next, assess your resources. What do you have at your disposal? A first aid kit, a flashlight, a bottle of water, a can of beans. Each could mean the difference between life and death. Take inventory and ration wisely. Communication is key. If you can, reach out to your loved ones. Establish a meeting point, a safe place to regroup. But be prepared for the possibility that you might be on your own. Remember, knowledge is power. Understand your enemy. Zombies, the walking dead, are driven by a basic instinct to feed. They are relentless, but not invincible. Your survival hinges on exploiting their weaknesses and capitalizing on your human strengths. Intelligence, adaptability, and the will to survive. And remember, time is of the essence. The first week is crucial. This is when the world is adjusting, when chaos reigns supreme. It's a time of danger, yes, but also opportunity. The choices you make now, the actions you take, could set the stage for your survival in the weeks and months to follow. The first week is crucial, and survival is the name of the game. When the world falls into chaos, what does it take to survive the first week? It's a question that keeps zombie enthusiasts awake at night. The answer isn't as simple as you might think. Surviving the first week of a zombie apocalypse requires a blend of quick thinking, resourcefulness, and a healthy dose of caution. Your initial strategy should be to find a safe, secure shelter. This could be your own home, assuming it's defensible, or perhaps a remote cabin in the woods. Look for places that are off the beaten path, less likely to be overrun with the undead. Securing food and water is your next priority. Stockpile non-perishable food items like canned goods, rice, and pasta. Don't forget about water. You'll need at least 1 gallon per person per day for drinking and sanitation. Start hoarding as soon as you can, but remember, don't put yourself at unnecessary risk. Avoiding encounters with zombies is crucial. They may be slow, but they're relentless. If you must fight, aim for the head. That's their weak spot. But remember, every encounter is a potential death sentence. The best strategy is to avoid detection altogether. Stay quiet, stay hidden, and stay alive. If you find yourself separated from your friends or family, establish a rendezvous point ahead of time. Communication may be down, so physical locations are your best bet. And finally, it's essential to prepare before an outbreak occurs. Keep a bug-out bag ready with essentials like food, water, medical supplies, and tools. This will buy you time and increase your chances of survival. Surviving the first week of a zombie apocalypse is a daunting task. It's a test of your resilience, your resourcefulness, and your will to live. But remember, this is not a time for heroics. Every unnecessary risk, every reckless decision could be your last. Your goal, is to survive. Remember, the goal is to survive, not to be a hero. In the world of the undead, the right tools can mean the difference between life and death. In a world overridden by zombies, certain items quickly become more valuable than gold. These are your survival tools, your lifelines. And no, we're not just talking about weapons, although they are crucial. Survival is about more than just fighting off the undead. It's about securing your basic necessities too. Let's start with the obvious, weapons. You'll need something for close quarters combat, something light, durable, and sharp. A crowbar or a machete fits the bill. It's not just about dishing out damage either. You need to consider your stamina. Swinging a sledgehammer might sound good, but it will tire you out quickly, making you an easy target. But remember, your best strategy is always to avoid confrontation. Stealth and speed are your friends. That's where a good pair of running shoes comes in. They might not seem like a tool, but trust me, when you're outrunning a horde of zombies, you'll be thankful for them. Next, we have tools for everyday survival. A multi-tool is a one-stop shop for most of your needs. It can open cans, cut wires, and even help you start a fire. Speaking of fire, don't forget a lighter or matches. Fire is essential for warmth, cooking, and even sterilization. Water purification tablets or a life straw can be a lifesaver. Clean water is scarce in a zombie apocalypse, and these tools can help you make the most of what you find. Lastly, consider carrying a first aid kit. Injuries are inevitable, and without proper care, they can become deadly. Your kit should include bandages, antiseptic wipes, tweezers, and painkillers. Of course, these are just the basics. Your survival kit should be tailored to your specific needs and skills. Remember, in the zombie apocalypse, the right tool can often be the one thing that stands between you and the undead. With the right tools, you can increase your chances of survival. In a world overrun by zombies, threats lurk around every corner. The first week of a zombie apocalypse is when the threats are at their most intense and varied. Zombies, of course, are the most prominent danger. Their numbers are growing and they're hungry. They're driven by a primal need to feed, and they won't stop until they get what they want. They're relentless, tireless, and completely devoid of fear or hesitation. But zombies aren't the only threat you'll face. As society crumbles, resources become scarce. Food, water, medicine, and other essentials quickly become hot commodities. And when resources are scarce, conflict brews. Other survivors can pose just as much of a threat as the undead. Desperate times can make people do desperate things. And in a world where the rule of law has all but evaporated, it's survival of the fittest. You may find yourself competing with others for resources, facing off against territorial groups, or even dealing with sabotage from those who'd rather see you fail than share what's left. It's a grim reality, but it's one you need to be prepared for. In addition to the physical threats, there's the psychological toll. The world you knew is gone, and the people you loved may be gone too. Fear, anxiety, and despair can eat away at your resolve, cloud your judgment, and make you vulnerable. The first week is also when you're most likely to make mistakes. You're still learning, still figuring out how to navigate this new world. You might underestimate the strength of a zombie, misjudge the intentions of another survivor, or overlook a crucial resource. But remember, the key to survival isn't just strength or cunning, it's adaptability. The ability to learn from your mistakes, to adapt to changing circumstances, and to keep moving forward no matter what. As you face these threats, remember, you're not just surviving, you're learning. You're growing stronger, smarter, and more capable. Each challenge is a lesson, each setback a chance to adapt and improve. In these trying times, adaptability is your best friend. A safe haven is more than a luxury in a zombie apocalypse. It's a necessity. In the gruesome reality of an undead uprising, a secure shelter is your ticket to survival. It's your fortress, your sanctuary, your headquarters in the heart of chaos. But how do you find such a place? And once found, how do you fortify it? First and foremost, location is key. You want a place that's defensible. High ground is always a good option. It gives you a vantage point to see any approaching danger. A place with only 1 or 2 points of entry reduces the chances of being caught off guard. You don't want to be surrounded, but a defensible location isn't enough. You also need seclusion, a place that's off the beaten path, away from the major cities and towns. The less foot traffic, the better. The fewer people that know about your hideout, the safer you are. However, seclusion doesn't mean isolation. You want to be near resources. A location near a body of water is ideal. Not only does it provide a drinking source, but it can also serve as a natural barrier against the undead. Proximity to a forest can provide you with firewood and potential food sources. But remember, resources attract others, so be prepared to defend what's yours. Once you've found your perfect location, it's time to fortify. Reinforce doors and windows, build barricades, create a safe zone within your safe zone, a last line of defense. Always have an escape route, and make sure it's well hidden and easily accessible. Last but not least, keep it clean. A dirty shelter can lead to disease, and in a world where medical help is a luxury, prevention is the best cure. So remember, in a zombie apocalypse, your shelter is your lifeline. Choose wisely, fortify thoroughly, and defend fiercely. A secure shelter can be your fortress in a world of the undead. Encounters with the undead are inevitable. Knowing how to handle them is vital. Imagine this. You're scavenging for supplies when you hear a gut-wrenching moan. Your heart races, your palms sweat. You're not alone. A zombie is lurking nearby. What do? Firstly, don't panic. Zombies are driven by their hunger for human flesh. Loud noises and swift movements attract them, so keep your cool. If you can, slip away without being noticed. Stealth is your best friend in a zombie apocalypse. But what if you can't avoid them? What if you're cornered? That's when you have to defend yourself. Keep in mind that zombies are no longer people. They're walking corpses, void of any human emotion or reason. Your survival is what matters. When it comes to fighting back, aim for the head. It's a universal rule in almost every zombie lore out there. A blow to the head is a surefire way to bring them down. If you have a weapon, use it. If not, use whatever you can find. A heavy object, a sharp stick, even a can of beans can do some damage if you throw it hard enough. Now here's a crucial tip. Never let a zombie get too close. They're stronger than they look, and once they latch on, it's game over. Keep your distance, strike when you can, and retreat when it's safe. But let's circle back to the first point. Avoidance is key. Zombies are slow and predictable. Use that to your advantage. Plan your routes, move quietly, and always have an escape plan. Your goal isn't to rack up a kill count, but to survive. And one final piece of advice: never underestimate a zombie. They might be slow and clumsy, but they're relentless. They won't stop until they get what they want. So always be on guard, always be prepared. Remember, stay quiet, stay alert, and stay alive. In a post-apocalyptic world, food and water are more precious than gold. Scavenging is your new reality. Abandoned stores, homes, and eateries are treasure troves. However, caution is the key. Zombies love these places as much as you do. Always be on guard. Rationing is critical. You might not know when you'll find your next meal, so every bite counts. And remember, food isn't just about filling your stomach. It's about getting the right nutrients to keep you strong and healthy. Now let's talk about water. It's more vital than food. The human body can survive weeks without food, but only days without water. But remember, in a world where the dead walk, water sources can be contaminated. Never drink water straight from the source. Always purify it. Boiling is your best bet. In the fight for survival, your next meal can be your most valuable asset. Surviving a zombie apocalypse is as much a mental battle as it is a physical one. Now let's delve into the mental game of survival. Imagine yourself in a world overrun by zombies. The sights, the sounds, the constant fear. It can take a toll on the strongest of minds. But here's the thing. Your mind is your greatest weapon and ally. It's what separates us from the mindless undead. So, how do you ensure it stays sharp and resilient? Firstly, maintain hope. Hope is the lighthouse in the storm, the beacon that guides you through the darkest nights. No matter how grim the situation, hold on to the belief that you can and will survive. Remind yourself of what you're fighting for, whether it's your loved ones, your dream of a zombie-free world, or simply the human spirit's indomitable will to endure. Next, stay focused. In the chaos of a zombie apocalypse, it's easy to get overwhelmed, but a scattered mind is a vulnerable one. Concentrate on the task at hand, whether it's finding food, securing shelter, or fending off a zombie. Prioritize your survival. Let this focus be your compass, guiding you through the mayhem. Lastly, find joy in the small moments. Yes, you heard right. Even in an apocalypse, joy is not only possible, it's essential. Celebrate every victory, no matter how small. Found a can of beans? Victory. Evaded a zombie? Victory. Managed to get some sleep? Big victory. These moments of joy serve as mental breathers, lifting your spirits and bolstering your resilience. Remember, your mind is like a muscle. The more you exercise these strategies, the stronger it gets. And in a world where survival is the ultimate victory, a strong, resilient mind is your ticket to seeing day 8 and beyond. In the darkest of times, the strength of the human spirit can shine the brightest. So, hold on to that light and let it guide you through the apocalypse.